You've heard this term before, buy the dip, right? It works. In value stocks, in the IWM and UNH, that's what's happening, folks. This rally broadening out. That's what everyone wants to see. We'll cover those stocks. We'll cover some earnings. Cisco Kid trading a little bit in the red. Talk bullish. IPO. Kenny Glick, 825. Heads up. He'll be with us for the PPI number. Got a jam-packed show on this Thursday. Brentster, roll the intro.
The volatility right now is really incredible.
Wow, look at that consolidation on the upper right chart.
You know what we've seen this earnings season? Some of these expected moves get even more violent. This is why I have switched my strategy 10 years ago. And if you're chasing, you're in trouble.
All right, good morning, team. We're up a couple handles, 64.9150. Tried to clear that 6,500 hurdle. The buck flat, 97.68. TLT in the green, rebounding. 2-day rebound here, 88.09. That's up 42 cents. USO trying to right the ship here, upset 27 cents, 72.73. Both gold and silver in the red, and Bitcoin, whew, those futures blasted to 125,200, but now they're down on the day here. We're down nearly $2,000 at 121,500. Triple D, how you doing this morning?
Not too bad. What's going on?
What's going on is that value stocks are back in vogue. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It's an kind of Captain Obvious thing, because when you have interest rates elevated for a prolonged period of time, value tends to underperform. Now that looks like we are going to actually get interest rate cuts in September, it's almost a 100% chance in our Fed tool now. They are flocking into those beaten up names that need lower rates. Like we talked for a long time. If you've been listening to the show for more than a day, you know it. Tech does not need lower rates. Everything else does. So now we're getting the everything else rally because interest rates are going to go down in September, at least short-term rates. IWM exploding the last couple of days. We also have value stocks like healthcare. We also have, the home builders starting to show some life. Lennar, huge day yesterday. KB Homes, think about it. What needs rates lower than the home builders? That's just right to the bottom line, because everything is financed that these people build their homes. Lower mortgage rates, lower rates, definitely good for home builders too. So it's broadening out. Does that mean tech gets, forgotten here? Probably not.
Does it last, Dennis? We've seen this trick
I think it
before.
could be a little bit different this time because interest rates are actually going to go down. I mean, we're going to get the PPI here at 8:30.
Yeah.
As long as it's in line or light, green light go for September. If it's hot, I mean, that maybe changes things a little bit, but it's probably not, going to move the needle. It looks to be that they are actually going to lower rates. I mean, where is the Fed tool? Brentster, you're in the background. Isn't it like 99.9% or something for September now when we were looking at last? The Brentster.
Yeah. Hey, good morning, everyone. Yeah, you want me to pull it up and screen share?
Yeah, pull it up.
Okay.
We can just take a quick look here, because this is the driver. If you're asking why the value stocks now, it is indeed 100% the light CPI from a couple days ago. And, I'd expect the PPI to be fine as well here. So
yeah,
I don't think it's going to derail it, even if it's a little bit hot. I don't think it's going to change this much. But when you look, at one point in time, we were moving down. Now they've got it at, what is it? Well, not 99%, but not.
Remember that the current rate is 4.25 to 4.5%. And look at the table here. That's just gone. It's just not on the table
So
anymore.
it's zero. So it's 100% chance, they're saying.
Yep. And look, there's even a 2% chance of a 50-point basis. Yep.
So 2% chance of a 50, 98% chance of a 25, and a 0% chance. Wall Street has now priced in a 0% chance that interest rates do not get cut, that we stay the same.
Can I ask a fundamental question here about these numbers?
Of
They're
course.
fake. These numbers are fake. How do we know these
How
numbers
are they
real?
calculated? That is a good question. Is this just like surveys? Are they traded at some point? Like, I don't even know. I've never asked that question. How is this all calculated?
Isn't
How
it
is this-
all the trading for Fed Fund futures?
It's all just Fed Fund futures.
No, I'm
trading
talking
this.
about the CPI and the PPI data.
Well, that's
we
always
get.
been fake, Joel.
That's
That's always been fake. It's always been fake.
Why can't, like, unemployment numbers are bad, they're fake, but these numbers are good and we're gonna believe them? I don't know. This market has totally lost me. Totally lost me.
And again, you can't. All we have is the fake numbers. I mean, none of it's real. The CPI hasn't been at 2% in decades. You know, it's really up at 8, 9, 10%. We know, and I've calculated like shrinkflation. You think about, like, I opened something the other day, and I was like, oh, you know, it's something. It's smaller again. They go from 6 bars in your granola bar package to 5, but they don't. They calculate that in somehow in the CPI. They say, don't worry. Remember, I've had this argument. Don't worry, the CPI, Bureau of Labor Statistics, there's an article. Go read it. They say, don't worry, we calculate for shrinkflation in there as well. And they estimate shrinkflation to be 0.01% a year. That is 1% every 100 years. That's what they think shrinkflation is. These guys are, one, liars or idiots. No in between, liars or idiots. Because we all know shrinkflation is a hell of a lot more than 1% every 100 years. Complete stupidity. That's one thing. But you know what? I bought a new monitor yesterday. I bought a new monitor for my computer because the monitor went.
Wow.
I went into my local Staples. Staples is all Business Depot from the States when they had that. I don't know if Staples. Do you still have Staples in the States? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Remember SPLS used to trade? Anyways, we still have it in Canada. Go in there. Guess how much my monitor was? Canadian dollars. So it's like 30% less.
What size?
24-inch monitor. Samsung.
You guessed, Joel.
Yes.
I already know. We already talked about this. You guessed, Joel.
I did on STN.
24-inch monitor.
Nice 24-inch monitor. I just bought one and I got a good deal at the Micro Center. I think I paid, I don't know. I think I paid $60-70.
Yeah, there you go. $99. So $70, $75 US. That's where they are. So that is one thing that is driving the CPI down, because you know what else they do? They equal weight everything. So, you know, you've got, and again, it's a kind of mix, but they equal weight. So your monitor, your computer monitor that has definitely gotten cheaper, is equivalent to a car. So cars, you know, the same. That's the same. So computer monitors, so you gotta have a $10,000 item or a $100 item, and it's weighed equally. That's how stupid the index is. It's all messed up.
You know what's really
no,
expensive?
that's not true. They'll come, but there's all hid crap in there to keep the rate lower, because nobody wants to hear that they're really losing 8, 9, 10% every single year. Nobody wants to hear that, but that's the truth. That's the hard truth. The CPI is full of lies. Okay. But all we have is the lies. So we trade on lies. So that's no big deal. So Joel, going to your original point, you are absolutely correct. It's all made up. Fugazi, whatever you want to call it. It's all lies. Government's a bunch of liars and idiots, but that doesn't matter. That's what we trade on. And they are trading now. The value stocks are hot because the lying numbers are light, and we are going to see interest rates actually start going down.
Two things. Number one, I went golfing yesterday and I did get the senior citizen discount. And the guy said you have to be 62. And I was honest. I said, I'm only 61. And I got the discount. Secondly,
wow.
Yeah. Dennis, do you know what's really expensive in Canada?
What?
Gas.
Oh, yeah. Everything is expensive in Canada.
Grant and I were driving out of town when we were heading back to the good old USA. We weren't being followed by anybody. Brent is like, did you see the price of gas? And I'm like, what's gas there? What's the price? Dennis, what's the price of gas?
About $1.40 a liter. So when you first come in, you're like, wow, is gas ever cheap? And then you're like, what the hell is this liter stuff?
That's a liter?
What's a liter? Well, there's 3.6 liters in a gallon. So you take the $1.37, you multiply times 3.6, and then divide by the exchange rate a little bit there, and you'll probably come up with about $5.50 a gallon, U.S. equivalent, something like $5 a
And Brad
gallon.
was like, "What's with the gas price there?"
That's so cheap. $1.37 a gallon. Denny complaining all the time, and Nick's like, "Wait a second, how do you put 50 gallons in your tank?"
I thought you guys had a lot of
Welcome to Canada.
oil up
They
there,
say
but
I'm slow because
Yeah.
I'm from Canada, eh? Okay.
All right, we've digressed. This has been a 7-minute digression.
It
gotta
was a
move on.
good rant, though, and Joel set me up with the softball up the middle. So, yeah, the PPI numbers are coming out in 19 minutes are completely made up in BS and calculated very poorly. But those are the numbers that the market trades on. So, no sense, worrying about, changing fake numbers. They're going to be fake forever. So, 19 minutes, we find out the more fake numbers and interest rates, indeed, they has a 100% chance they're going down in September. So, it's over. They're going down. So, with interest rates going down here now, what does that mean? It means value stocks all of a sudden look a lot cheaper because interest rates drives everything. Interest rates are good for lower interest rates are good for two primary reasons. First one is that if you're, competing with interest rates, stock market competes. If you got 8-10% risk-free rates, well, the stocks don't look nearly as attractive. The other thing is that companies borrow money. So you got two ways that it helps. So lower interest rates is a driver of price. So with lower interest rates, stocks likely to go higher, value stocks likely to go higher. So I think it could be more than a 2-day thing. Long-winded answer, 10-minute answer to your question.
Okay, real quickly, just want to mention Bitcoin exploded overnight. I have the futures. That's definitely a new high here at 125K, 200. We backed off. We're now down $2,000. So, a warning candle, maybe. If not, well, we'll see what happens today. But big move in Bitcoin, higher.
That's why Bitcoin keeps going up too. The one thing is there's only 21 million of them going to ever be out there. So it's not like we're just going to print them into oblivion here. So it makes sense. I'm a hodler too. I know I've had a rant on, that I don't think we're going to be transacting in Bitcoin, but the store of value is absolutely true. That's a store of value now. It's digital gold. I've been hodling Bitcoin for 4 years here now. So at this point in time, I don't think the Bitcoin rally is fake. I think it's real.
We had some comments on our YouTube chat, and someone said, it's just what you said. It's a store of value. Do you go to the grocery store and buy something with stocks? Do you say, I'm going to give you 1/4 of my McDonald's
Microsoft shares?
Yeah.
So Bitcoin doesn't need. So bottom line is we don't need to transact in Bitcoin for it to have value.
Yes.
Nobody transacts in gold. We don't go there with our bag of gold, cut off a little piece of gold and give it to the people. So it's totally got, I think the rally is for real, 120,000. If you think about the printing press and the deflation and the way your currency, your US dollars continue to lose value here, not just from a trading perspective, but from inflation, Bitcoin rally makes a hell of a lot of sense.
Key reversal in Dennis. Okay. All right. Do we
that's what I was trying to get across, but the transaction thing, I don't think we're going to be transacting Bitcoin anytime soon, and it doesn't matter. Let's go on to earnings. Cisco last night, buy the dip, reigns supreme. CSCO, it came back down actually after. So CSCO comes out with earnings last night. You can tell I'm stalling as I bring up the numbers. 99 cents versus 97 cents, 14.67 billion versus 14.61 billion. The guidance was fine. They actually raised it on 2026, 4 to 406. Analyst estimates down at 379. And the sales guidance went up too. So they kind of did a beat, and raise here. Why did the stock get hit last night? Why was it down 4 points? Maybe the bar too high. Been running $54 up to $70 there. But they've come in recently and they have been buying the dip. They actually went green last night for a moment. Now it's starting to leak here again. Thoughts, concerns, CSCO.
You love one number? 70. I look at the last 4 days. There's not an exact close or anything there, but I'm just looking at that chart. And I'm like, wow. Move up, consolidation, new high. I don't even know. Is that not a new all-time high? I don't know. My 1999 charts aren't available anymore. They only go back 20 years. But
chart it like it's 1999.
Yeah, you're chopping. You're chopping around. 70 was holding up, and now you're blowing. So The bulls need to regain 70. 70 has to turn into support. If not, it's going to be major resistance, and Cisco is going to drift lower.
Then you had Coherent, COHR. And this is your disaster stock of the day. Yes, I'm going to Coherent over Deere. We'll get to Deere in a second here.
Oh.
COHR getting hammered. It's Trump stock. It was mentioned in the Trump thing. Doesn't matter at this point in time. Dollar versus 91, 1.52 billion versus 1.50 billion. So the beat, but the guidance was light. A little bit light. Not even a crazy light, just a little bit light. They're looking 1.46 billion on the low end on sales, 1.53 billion are the estimates. They're looking 93 cents on the lower end, $1.01 is the estimate. So the lower end, the higher end would still beat. So they kind of surrounded it. So here's your guidance. They kind of went like this. They don't like hearing that it could be on the lower end here. So they hammer first, ask questions later. Is this a stock that they will buy the dip in? Probably, but again, like we've said, is, you know what? We're buying dips on everything here now. You know, even the Kava dip got bought. So yeah, probably. They're probably just going to come in and buy the dip on Coherent. COHR. Hell, probably I'm going to buy the dip on it.
Sticking with one number here.
I love one number.
93.78 is the 50-day moving average. Bulls need to retake that, get some bids there, or I'll take the other side of the trade and say we're heading lower.
How low? What would be your next level
80,
after 93.78?
80.
$80. So if we lose 93.78, we're immediately going to $80.
Nothing's immediate in this market.
It is in this market. We're in the YOLO market. We don't like waiting. We want immediate gratification. So if I short 93.50, I want to be at 80 today. That's probably not happening.
Okay.
I just think you've got a stock here that's been trending up relentlessly. You've got a stock that's come a long ways back. Maybe the bar was too high. The guidance wasn't that bad. It's probably money managers coming to their desk saying, hell, man, I'm still underinvested. What am I going to buy? See Coherent down 18%. It was mentioned in the Trump presser with Apple. I mean, I probably sets up as this is a stock. Are they coming in on day one? Hard to say. Do I think eventually they come in and buy the dip? Don't they always?
We got to get more money managers on the show because you constantly refer to these money managers that.
That's me. I'm a money manager. I like buying the dip. That's me. I'm referring to myself when I say money managers.
No, you make them sound like they're a bunch of slackers.
They are. I'm a slacker. I go boating on the weekend, take off intraday.
You are not a slacker. You are not a slacker, Dennis. Coherent is engaged in materials networking and lasers. It's vertically integrated manufacturing company.
Lasers.
What the? I don't know. Okay.
We don't know what they do. That's the bottom line. Is most of these tech stocks we invest in, we don't know what they do. I don't know what half of these things do.
Let's call it an optical name. Is that fine?
Sure. Optical.
Okay.
I like that. Coherent. We'll go with that. Optical. All I know is it was mentioned in the Trump presser with Apple. That's never a bad thing. Wasn't it, Brent? I'm not making that up, am I? I'm pretty sure Coherent was one of the stocks that was mentioned in the whole Apple filing.
Yes, it was. Yep.
Coherent got an actual mention from Apple. There's 10 stocks mentioned. Coherent was one of them. That's not a bad thing. And speaking of Apple, it's not a bad thing that Apple's talking about getting into humanoids, and Apple's talking about getting into AI, and Apple's talking about getting into something else too. I don't remember what it was yesterday, but that was the catalyst for the rally. Rumors have it that Apple's working on humanoids. That is what you want to see if you're Apple shareholders. You want to see them coming in and getting into physical AI. Yeah, baby. I want to see a cool Apple humanoid. Is it just rumors? We heard about a flying car, or not flying car. We heard about what did we hear all those years we were hearing about? They were going to get into a car, an Apple car.
Apple
it wasn't
car,
Apple car, not flying.
Yeah.
They never did. They scrapped that. So they're talking about humanoids. Maybe they're working behind the scenes. But I would tell you, the day that Apple announces, if they ever do, announce that, yeah, we are working on humanoids, the stock rallies 10% that day. Not joking. So it rallied at 1% on a rumor of it. If they ever officially announce that, that is huge. That is like a game changer. Because right now, Apple is simply an iPhone company. They need to work on other things. Eventually, maybe they are in the background. Hopefully there's smart people there. I've challenged that there's smart people there, but maybe they're going to put the smart people in place. But that's the rumors. That's
so
a
you
driver.
don't want to. You're not kicking Tim Cook out the door yet, like you were a couple weeks ago.
I'd still kick him out. Yeah.
All right, we got Kenny at
We haven't done anything
8:25.
cool.
Kenny at
Show me.
8:25.
Show me.
8:25. Kenny Glick coming on pre-market prep, so we got to move on.
Okay, we'll get Kenny. Kenny's at 8:25.
Yep, I
We
asked
got
him
him
when he
coming
went.
through the PPI.
Yeah.
Yes,
Well, that'll be
yes.
fun.
Yeah.
He doesn't care
Fun
about
at the
PPI.
PPI.
He just cares
Yeah.
about the VWAP. There's
And the
nothing Kenny
Qs.
cares about.
The
It's just the
Qs,
VWAP.
baby. The Qs.
The
Okay, we'll get
Qs.
Kenny on. Kenny's coming. Kenny's coming. Get ready. You think I have energy? Kenny has 10 times more energy. Okay. So other stocks reported here. I don't care about Fossil from last night. I don't care about Advanced Auto Parts. I don't care about these Chinese names, WB or NetEase or any of these names. I do care about Deere. Deere is hammered. Deere is down significantly. It's been sitting here doing nothing, waiting for its report. Literally, for real. It's just like flatline, like dead. 2 months. DE. Doing nothing. Now all of a sudden, bang, lose $30. Holy crap, did they miss? No, not really, actually. 475 versus 467. Did they miss on sales? No, not really. 12.01 billion versus 10.31 billion. Actually blew away sales. Did they lower guidance? No, not really. They said net income outlook 4 to 0.75 to 5.25, while they were looking potentially on the higher end of 5.5 billion. So I guess it's kind of light on the higher end, but reaching for reasons that this stock is down $30. They'll say, oh, they missed the higher end of estimates. You know what? It's just right a long ways here too. Is it tariff proof? Hell no. Not even close to tariff proof. This is a tariff stock. It's going to get tariffed. It's probably going to have lower income in the second half. Caterpillar already warned about that. Now, we haven't had the conference call to hear any of that yet, so we don't know if they're going to warn on tariffs, but they look like their guidance is fine. My John Deere lawnmower is awesome. I'll tell you that much. You know, the product they make is awesome. This stuff doesn't break. Not like the Samsung monitors that breaks as soon as the warranty ends. So 513 down to 483, down $30. Am I buying the Deere dip?
I'll talk about that in 1 second. And I'm not going to, you hate questions, Dennis, so I'm not going to throw this at you. But I'll throw it to the chat. Fossil made its all-time high in 2014. It made its all-time high over $110. What was the catalyst? Crickets?
2020 COVID?
No, all time. No, it wasn't 2020. It was in
Oh, it's back then.
2014.
Well, I have no idea.
Let's see. I'm going to go to the chat.
I said I didn't care about Fossil, and then you bring the show back there. Who the hell cares about a dollar stock? Okay, what was the catalyst?
He won the U.S. Open, and he was wearing a Fossil watch. He won Masters. He won the Masters in 2012, and he won it in 2014. And he was wearing a Fossil watch. And that's when the stock hit its all-time high.
Who was it?
Bubba Watson.
Baba.
Yeah.
Baba. It was wearing a Fossil.
Yep.
Masters top.
Yes.
Green jacket wasn't very green for Fossil shareholders, though. If you're buying the green jacket top.
Hey, Rob Hood knew it. All right. Let's go to Deere.
Rob Hood. Who has been the longest? Who's been our longest listener? Because Rob Hood, Spinner's been in there a long time. Who's been the absolute longest? Like the person who started listening to us in 2013. If you've been listening to us since 2013, I think Rob Hood's been there. Jay Rice, I think you've been there too since 2013, 12 years of listening to us, which is unbelievable because, you know, I can't even stand listening to myself sometimes. Drew's there. Richard's not.
No, Drew hasn't been. Unless like people change their names though. We got popular in
2018. What the year you've been listening to? Look at the years.
Beer guy.
Bill
BTD.
2016. Any other 2013s out there? Rob, what year did you start listening to? Look at this. Look at the years. One of the first 20 year out. I think so. Rob Hood was one of the first 20. Who was the absolute first listener? Was the Bright Trader, Kevin. Remember Kevin? We had like 10 listeners when we
had zero listeners to start.
We had 0 listeners for a while. That's true. There's been a few. 1997, Ricky. I'm calling BS on that one.
I didn't even know Dennis. I didn't even know Dennis before that.
1997. I was still trying to trade retail, and I was in all my internet stocks. I was like Amazon. Yeah.
All right. Hey, well, I'm not going to get to buy the dip in Deer because we're going to look at the 1 minute VWAP and we're going to decide what to do in Deer. So right now we need a new special intro for Kenny Glick. Hit the bid. Roll it.
In that intro.
Sup, players?
Kenny, you said you were.
What does he have on his neck?
What?
What are you doing over there? What is that?
This is a 1 ball, 2 ball, 3 steel balls. I collect medieval weaponry, but I wear this around my neck to remind people, if you're thinking about shorting this market, think of me coming at you 105 miles an hour, swinging this thing right at your head. All right?
He didn't swear. He didn't swear.
He didn't
All
swear.
right.
He held back. That's
All
good.
right.
back.
The
He
YouTube
held back.
algo hits us on that. Kenny.
And they brought us
He's right.
Carvana at $10.
You like how I censored myself there, right? You
Ah,
like-
you did. That was impressive, actually. I didn't know you could censor yourself. That's impressive, actually.
He said he was going to come shirtless with a bandana, and I said we're not doing porn yet on the show, and so he.
Hit the like button for Kenny's balls. Hit the like button for Kenny's balls.
There you go. Not just one, not
3
just 2.
silver balls, man, and they're
3.
coming at you. Do not even attempt to short this market here. So we got 3 minutes. We're gonna get the PPI. Do you even care about the PPI?
Absolutely not. But if the market does care, that's a moment of bearishness. And that's what we've been looking for. That's what I've been looking for
Buy the
the
dip.
last couple of weeks, couple of months, actually. So give me a
Couple
reason.
years.
Give me a reason to believe that we actually can go down, and I'll embrace it. But everything that I've learned about the market for 30 years, all those signs that I used to look for, they've been showing up, and nobody cares. Nobody cares about anything.
Nothing. Nobody cares. It's the silver lining market. I tweeted last night that if Xi was ever going to invade Taiwan, right now he should do it. Because this market,
I just had this conversation. I was like, nobody is going to care about
nobody
anything.
cares.
Unless
They'd
you
be like,
look
"Eh."
outside and there's a nuclear cloud of fire and death coming at you. And we'd have a recovery rally within 3 days anyway. So it didn't
Oh,
matter.
yeah, for sure. So this is the time. Xi, if you're listening, go invade Taiwan right now. You can reunite the whole China here because nobody cares. The market's going to go up. They're going to say this is good for some. They'll find the silver lining somehow.
Right.
That's where we're at.
We are.
Okay.
We're there. We're there because the dash for trash, which I learned back in the 90s, was a sign that maybe the overall health of the market wasn't as amazing as the overall picture. But the dash for trash has been going on now for what seems like forever. And there's one every day. And the joke continues. Yesterday, we traded a stock. Get this. It was 180 Life Sciences. Let me get the symbol for it. I was ATNF, right? And we're having some fun. We're kicking ass. So this morning I wake up and there's a stock XPON. And this one is XPON 360. So I'm thinking maybe this will be twice as good. I'll be here all week. Thank you very much, everybody.
What it is. It's up 108. Are you in it right now? Did you get an XPON?
We got into $3. So let me show you why. So again, these pump and dumps are fun to trade, but I still trade them with the VWAP. So here's the trade. I don't know if you're looking at my charts, but if you can, this is just it's artwork right here. So again, what you're looking at basically is the cleanest chart. The red lines are where I was selling the stock and where the targets were. So today's VWAP starts to form. It kind of starts to form at 4 o'clock in the morning because you're getting some volume on a lot of these stocks at 4.
Wow.
Some of these are trading overnight.
Wow.
And the orange line is just the prior day VWAP. So when you get that chart pattern that I've covered, the fake out, shake out, breakout, so the faux, show, and it gets back above.
Whoa.
PPI hot.
Kenny,
PPI very hot.
Whoa.
Core
Nelly.
PPI up 0.9%.
Let me buy the dip. Hang on a
Almost
second.
I'm gonna buy the
For
dip
a
right now. I gotta buy the dip right now. I'm gonna buy the dip.
increase.
Quick, get
Core
into some
PPI
views.
year over year was up 3.7% versus a 2.9% economist estimate. Core PPI month over month was up almost a 1%, 0.9% versus a 0.2% estimate. We also had our jobless claims out. Jobless claims were around 270. That was fine. Nothing there. Market, not liking this.
Well, 2 points on the Qs. Give me 38 points, and then I'll be happy today. All right. Give me 38. Let me see us break. Let me show you what I'm going to look at. So if this holds, which it probably won't, let's go right back to the prior day VWAP. So here's what I'm looking at. So here's 5 days worth of VWAP because we've been consolidating. You give me the Qs breaking 575, and then I'll say this market's onto something. Other than anything above 575, you're still going to be bullish. That's it. That's it. You cannot sell short on economic data. It's a losing trade, continues to be a losing trade. But if it's going to continue, then you join in. Because right now you have to wait for the psychopaths who think the market's going to go down. Remember, I'm coming at you. And listen, I'm a bear. I'm dying. Yesterday we did the market, and we had a really nice trade on the Qs, but we had a claw and scrape that 2 points together, and it was just a pain in the ass. So it's just a losing trade. And again, I've done very well shorting in my career, but I've given it all back and then some. It's just not a good way to trade, especially in a market that nobody wants to sell. So if they're going to sell it, and again, if Thursday's weak, sometimes we get a Friday that's weak. Let's see how this all pans out. And then if we have weakness today, then tomorrow could be exciting. And when I mean exciting, we'll actually go down for more than a couple of points on the Qs, because right now, up slightly is the new down.
That number is hot as hell. And how long before we go green? What's the predictions here, Kenny? That we turn around and buy the dip anyways. We're already trying to buy the dip.
We're already buying the dip here, right?
They're already buying the dip. They can't
so
help
the saying
themselves.
Is, what time green? I'll go 10:38. 10:38, the Qs will be at the highs of the day, and we'll be flirting with that 583.32. Again, more importantly, right? It's like, you don't have to predict this market. The way I trade, you don't have to predict. I just trade what I see. So like here, this stock, let's go back to that chart again. I'll show you the, what was it? XPON, right? So it's a very simple setup, because what I'm trading is basically, I wasn't involved. This is 4 o'clock in the morning. I woke up, I saw this ticker going across the screen. I was like, oh, that's funny. We traded a 180 yesterday. Today we got a 360. And just as I got, the computer on, it pulls back and holds the prior day VWAP and then breaks back above it. That's the faux show, bro. Fake out, shake out, breakout. So I'm just buying it when it goes back up. I heard you want to buy stocks when they're going up, sell them when they're going down. So you buy them when they're going up. Here at 3, we bought at 298. Already I'm selling some at 3 1/4. I'm selling some at 350. And then it gets to that big fat hole number, which I was waiting to see if it broke. And again, I sold at 375 on the way back down. So now I'm just waiting. I might buy this thing back if it breaks 4, because stocks that go up 200% in this market go up 5,000%. So get with the program, people. And listen, the market is actually, look, we actually made another.
This is actually the hottest number that we have had in the PPI in a hell of a long time. I want Brent to go research that in the background, because we aren't just a little bit hot. We are smoking hot on this number.
We're taking out yesterday's low. We're not going green today, Kenny.
Joel says no to us. He's not doing 1038. He's doing tomorrow.
We have to hold it. Dennis, you want one number? I'll give you one number. Dennis, I'll give you one number.
I hope you're right, baby. Give me
64.61. That's the highest low the S&P's ever made. If it can't get above and hold 64.61, we're going down. I don't care. Kenny.
Get him, Joel. Get him.
Every time I say that to Kenny, I'm like, I get all excited, and then like 2 weeks later, he texts me and he goes, "Boy, you were wrong." He got mad at me. I've
been cowering in a closet, even saying the word short. I feel like there's a guy in a van outside my house coming to get me. So listen, this is nice. This is real nice, because by the way, ladies and gentlemen, I cashed out a Palantir yesterday. It was the first time in 3 or 4 years since the IPO.
How come? Tell us, Kenny. Tell us
because
why.
You know what? I sold on the way up. I sold 80. I sold 120. I sold 150. I sold 180. I just saw it got exhausted the other day, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I could actually trade and actually sell a stock and have it go down and buy it back. Imagine that. So I sold the Palantir, hoping that maybe, and again, hopefully I can get this thing down around 160, 150, and then I'll buy it back because I really do think it's going to 250 and then, possibly going private with the government. I really do. I think this is going to be taken under or taken over by the United States government and go fully clandestine.
Oh boy, oh boy. All right, Kenny, you asked to be on from 8:25 to 8:35. It's 8:35. You want to stay? You got any more comments? Anything to take a look at?
Well, yeah, let's talk about the sell-off and the folly of the idea that it's going to stay down. Listen,
It's down. It's going down.
Oh, I'm hoping you're right, baby. I'm hoping you're right because I cashed out of some Qs yesterday. I cashed out of my Palantir. I would love to buy the dip. And I'm going to wait. That orange line is waiting for me. So if you break 5 days worth of VWAP, that's when I'll be convinced, because that's been the game. You'll get 1 or 2 days worth of pullbacks, but then it holds. The rally begins. The shorts have to cover. The longs get excited. The money gets divided. Now they're broke, and it's no joke. It's hard as hell. Don't short it. Freeze. All right, I got to get out of here. I got to go trade some stock. But listen, guys, always great to see you. I hope it stays down. I hope we can make money shorting again. Make shorting great again.
Make shorting
Dennis.
great again. Wouldn't that be awesome?
Yes.
How do we do that? Make shorting great again. I love that idea.
Kenny, I mentioned it in the text. Mark your calendar for, I believe it's September 20th. I'm coming out. I hope my sister's not listening. I'm coming out to Jersey for her surprise birthday party. Okay. But I told her, I have a business meeting.
Okay.
And so I'm going to visit with Spencer and the new Spencer, the little Spencer. And how far away are you from him? Are you far?
Maybe a half hour.
Okay.
Yeah. What day are we talking? September.
Let me look at my calendar. I know I'll let you go here. It is September 19th.
No, 19. All right, you're in.
Okay.
Friday, All right. We'll go see a band or something in Asbury, and I'll make tuna steaks. You like tuna?
I love tuna.
Everybody.
All right.
You can tune a piano, but you can't tune a fish.
Good luck, my friends. Be careful. What time green? 10:38. See ya.
10:38. Maybe sooner.
Woo!
In all truthfulness, this number is hot as hell. And if we weren't in this silver lining market that just buys every dip regardless of the news, like we were saying, we could have nukes, coming in and hitting us here imminently here, and they'd still be buying the dip. I would say that we're going to get freaking hammered on this. Like, this is really bad news. So you picture the Bears. The Bears are in their caves. They've been cowering here for, months really, or whatever. Literally, the PPI just threw a steak outside the cave. Steak is thrown right outside the cave. They're sniffing the steak. Maybe we can come out and take a bite of that steak. Is it safe? Is it safe to come out and take a bite of that steak? Because the PPI just threw a nice tenderloin sitting right outside the cave, ready to rock. Bears coming out, sniffing around. Am I going to come out and eat that steak? They're scared, though. They're still scared. I'm scared. Kenny's scared. There's reasons to be scared. Because you know why? The silver lining market will find a reason to say, hey, okay, well, yeah, PPI, well, that means the economy's still doing pretty good. Maybe we could look like that. Well, interest rates are going down anyways. Here's the bull thesis. Interest rates are going down anyways, regardless of this. And this shows the economy's still going pretty good. So we can have our cake and eat it too. That would be the bullish argument. Now, honestly, that's just stupid. But you know what? This market is just stupid. So am I going to say that this is the new, now we're in trouble? Probably not. We'll see what the Fed tool does here in a few minutes here. Do we get back on the board? Does it come back on? It was 100%. Nothing's 100%. They say it's going to rain, 100% chance in the next hour it doesn't rain. So, nothing is truly 100%, but I'm curious if it comes back on the board that maybe there's the outside chance that they actually don't lower rates in September. Because this number would do it. That was a hot number, man.
Triple D, last time we had a 0.9% increase in the core PPI figure was May of 2022.
That is correct.
3 years ago.
Yep.
It's hot. So hot.
And that the Fed funds tool won't update for a little bit, right?
If this would have been the CPI yesterday, everything would have been different. But the CPI kind of laid the groundwork for the imminent cut. I don't think the PPI, being as hot as it is going to move the needle, but this is the hottest number we've had, to Brent's point, 3 years. Coming into, tariffs, second half, tariffs are just starting to go in on everything here. So it's definitely a case for the bears. What do the bulls do on this? Do they buy the dip? That is the question. I still think they probably buy the dip. It's hard to be bearish.
It's worked until it hasn't worked. They say that the CPI is more important. You know what? I'm gonna step off for 1 second here, and
Okay.
I'm gonna reach out to Blue and see if I can get him to come on STN for a few minutes. So,
Okay.
Brent,
Go see
can
me
you
grab
run?
Blue.
Can you run here
Did
for a
it
second?
change?
Yeah, it did. Look, it's back, Dennis. Look, it's back. 7%.
This freaking
cut.
market, man. It says
back.
100% chance that we were cutting rates, and now it's not. How do you go? 100% is 100%. It's like the sporting event is over and 100%. Now, no. Now it's 92. Well, you were 100. You can't. Once you say it's 100%, you can't go away from 100% because 100% is 100%. But they just did it. We just watched it live. They said that literally the Oilers won the Stanley Cup, and now they said they didn't win the Stanley Cup. That's what it is. So now there's a 7% chance they don't go, which is higher. Where were we 2 days ago? It wasn't 7% chance we don't go, was it? I think it actually just went higher chance that they don't go. So
I think it was only like 4%.
The last 2 days of IWM should give it all back. But you know what? It isn't going to do that because there's too many money managers that are underinvested. There's too many people who just blindly buy the dip and make money. Everybody loves the market going up. So it's not going to give it all back, but technically it should.
And Dennis, look, I'm clicking back over here to December. This is for the end of the year, obviously. It's back. There's still a chance. No
that was
rate
my
cut.
call. That we're not going to cut rates this year.
0.6%.
Only 0.6. So you're telling me there's a chance.
You're telling me there's a chance.
There's a chance. But you know what?
Mike,
I don't think the Bears will win the day. I honestly wouldn't even be surprised if we went green. It would not surprise me. I don't know if I can come in and buy the dip because in real markets without silver lining, we should be down like 100 S&P handles on this in real markets. But we're not in real markets anymore. We're in Fugazi. It's just all fake crap. So I'm going to say that very hard for Bears to win this market. It's just been nearly impossible. It's been the worst market for the Bears ever. So a number like this, that steak right outside the Bears cave should taste so good, but they're going to come out and bite the steak and they're going to get burned. It was like, oh, it was just a rubber steak. It was fake. Something like that.
We're
already buying the dip.
Look at Andrew Left's call on Palantir looking great now here to short.
He just said that yesterday. He sold it all, or he sold it short.
He said he was shorting it. Yep. It's looking pretty good here. He's rebounded 10 points off the futures.
Yeah. Yep. Got back
above
Friday's low. I gave you one number. You would have had to take some heat. Blue can't make it on STN today, but he's gonna do a sneak appearance tomorrow on STN. I'll nail the time. So we'll have to tell Money Mitch because I like to get hit. When I told him he wasn't in front of his computer, he was laughing. He was laughing. He's like, really? Wow, what a head shake.
You broke the news to Blue, Joel?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Wow, that's amazing.
Yes. All right, back to our
here we are, back to our regularly scheduled programming by the dip. The number hot as hell. The dip has no business being bought, but you know what? They'll buy it anyways. And that's why Kenny stays in the bull camp. I'm staying in the bull camp, even despite everything in my common sense saying sell everything. But it doesn't matter. You can't. Because the Bulls just keep control here. It's the world we live in. It's the bull world, and the Bears are just renting space for a couple days a year. That's really where we're at. So even though PPI, the hottest number in 3 years, even though we're going into the back half where tariffs are going to be on everything, Doesn't matter. And you know what? Trump will come out in about 2 hours and say the numbers were just fake to make him look bad.
Mike Frantz, who long time, he's been listening to the show for a long time. He came in the STN room yesterday, and he thinks the prediction markets are more accurate than the actual Fed funds tool. And he says they moved from 12% to 16% of maintaining the same rate. So that's what we're looking at. We're looking at where the money flows, and that's from Mike Frantz.
Powell's
Thanks,
in that room right now saying, I told you so. I told you so. All you Fed governors who don't want to cut rates, I told you so. It's inflation's coming. See that PPI number? He's going to get outvoted here, though. I think they're still cutting. I am calling that they're still cutting.
Okay.
Even though they shouldn't.
Okay. All right. Okay. Palantir.
Okay, so back to earnings here. We were going to do Birkenstock. BIRK,
I hate
trading down.
Birkenstock.
Everything kind of changed here, because everything got weaker here from where we were just 15 minutes ago. But we'll give you the Burke earnings. We were doing Burke now, BIRK. 70 cents versus 67 cents, 720 million versus 739 million. That's a miss. That's a miss on sales. That's a miss, folks, miss. Burke barely down. So Deere kind of beats. Kill it. Coherent was fine. Burke flat out misses BIRK sales. Well, Crocs was bad, and they bought the dip on that. So why are we going to hit Burke? Burke barely down.
I hate
BIRK.
Birkenstocks. You wear them all the time, Dennis.
All the time. In the
I hate
summer,
'em.
I wear my Birkenstocks from April to November pretty much. As long as I
hate
can.
'em.
Until the snow starts hitting my toes. That's when you got to put the Birkenstock away. When the snows start hitting the toes. Look, I could be a marketer for them. Wear until the snow starts hitting the toes. And then they can come out with winter shoes too. And
you know what I think? I think it's that, like, the arch, like my arch just doesn't fit in the Birkenstocks. And like they're always...
No, you didn't give them enough time because it builds to your feet. Like it's cork.
No.
So you put it in the first time, it's like, oh, it's not that comfy. Then you wear them for 2 days and it builds around your feet. That's the whole point. When you first put on a Birkenstock, they never feel good. You got to walk around with them a little bit and work them in. And once they're worked in, it's like, oh my gosh, this is molded to my feet. It fits my arch perfectly.
They're expensive. I'm not going to pay
I never buy anything expensive, but I buy
shoes
Birkenstocks.
to take them home. And then you take them home and they don't mold to your feet. Then you can't take them back.
You didn't give it enough chance. You tried them on. You said, oh, they hurt my feet. And you returned them. You didn't give them enough chance.
I didn't. I never bought them.
Go buy Birkenstocks and give them 2 days of walking. You got to suffer for 2 days. Once you get through the first 2 days, then it's good. They should advertise that on the box too. I can change your sales, Birkenstocks. You wear them till the snows hit your toes, and then also you got to wear them for the first 2 days and work them in. Have that on the box because people put them on like, oh, these aren't comfortable. No, they're very comfortable. 2 days.
Nope. They got to be comfortable in the store, or I don't buy them.
Yeah, see? So we got to have that on the thing. Give it a day or two, and you'll be awesome.
Love
them once they're worked in. The first 2 days suck with Birkenstock, so I'm with you.
You want one number?
One number only?
47. 47.
Why?
A quad of lows in that area. And when was it? Let me get my data window back up here. A quad of lows is actually 48. I was wrong. It's 48. This thing, 48's the number here. You had a quad of lows from 47.50 to 48. I'm just going to call it 48. So let's see what happens. Got a hold 48. You're 93 cents above it. So even though they make horrible shoes, support at 48. Awesome. And on a bump, on a rally, you know what I'm going to say. You got to get fill the gap, 49.33, and then the close, 50.23.
Do you know what got spanked on this number? This PPI number, you know what got spanked?
Shoe Carnival.
No. Think bigger asset class. Think digital gold. Think digital gold. That's about the best thing I can give you. Bitcoin. I'll just spell it for you, Joel, because it's not going to get it. Bitcoin. Bring up Bitcoin.
Bitcoin got on the PP. Oh, okay. I
PPI.
thought you were like
none of the Birkenstocks. I've moved on. Look at the Bitcoin move. We just dropped to what, at $2,000?
Yeah.
About $2,000. Bitcoin got spanked on this. Bitcoin doesn't like rates not potentially going down. Bitcoin wants
What
lower
a
rates because you
change.
know
What a-
why? Because you don't get interest in Bitcoin, but you get interest in everything else. So a lower rate environment will drive Bitcoin as well. Bitcoin, Rocket not selling off. Rocket should be selling off. Oh yeah, Rocket's down. Rocket's down
Rocket, man.
1876, down 4%. So all your interest rate sensitive stuff that's basically everything that's been rallying the last 2 days is the stuff that's going to get hit today. Because we were rallying on soft CPI, now we're selling off on hot PPI. So look to your playbook, everything that was hot. So what does that tell you? Don't worry so much about your Qs and your tech stocks, even though they win no matter what. Qs win no matter what. Value stocks, not so much. And you know what? The S&P, Kenny, 1038. I don't know, man. It could happen before that. Kenny, it could happen before that. Might have to undercut you there. I might go 1037 just to do that, just to get the whole underside of you there. Because you know what? This market is that stupid. It's that crazy. They could nuke us tomorrow and we would still rally. All-time highs. We're back to that again. Yes, humanity ended and the Dow Jones is still hitting new all-time highs. The AI bots, they take over. They get crazy. Crazy.
All right, so we talked about Citron taking a short in Palantir, and Kenny sold his Palantir. To me, that's more important than anything else. Hard. I mean, as much as I like to call the end of rallies here, I don't have an indication yet that this is the end. But I'll just say that the all-time closing high was 186.97. To me, that's more important than the all-time high at 190. And if you're looking for a rally today, it needs to get above yesterday's low at 183.59. And did you see? I just saw this.
This is not a number that impacts Palantir much either, because it's not interest rate sensitive.
Correct.
Should be, but it's not. It's retail, darling, tech. We go up no matter what in those stocks. Look at Amazon. Amazon's green. Look at Microsoft. Microsoft's green. You can tell which stocks they're going into. They're going into tech names. They're going into tech. Apple's almost green. The mega cap 7 here to save the day. Don't worry, market. We'll do the heavy lifting. The Mag 7 here to save the day. And prove that bears will always pay.
Whew, okay. So where do we get done with the earnings? Do you want to talk about UNH?
We had Renaissance take a position in it. So, and that was doing well the last few days because the value trade's back on. A little concerning to chase it here now, though, with the hot PPI, because this is not a tech stock. This is not a sexy story stock that they're going to come and buy the dip on. It is ripping here because we got news, I believe last night. It might have been yesterday. When was that announced here? I'm looking to Renaissance, Jim Simmons taking a position, trying to see in his 13F. 13F start, it started a little bit yesterday. We actually might get the Buffett 13F tonight. You know what that means? The Buffett secret position. The secret, the mystery stock. We actually might find out tonight. It could be Friday too, because they have to be in by Friday, but usually Buffett's on Thursday. So I think
Did you
we're
ever
going to get
read
it
that
tonight.
book that I gave you?
The Warren Buffett Way?
No. Someone, and I still don't know who it is, sent us a gift at the Benzinga office. And I still don't know who it is. And
There's a secret admirer from the PreMarket.
And they said it was a nice note, and I couldn't. I tried to get fingerprints off the package, but it was just a post. And it was the book. Is it Simons or Simmons? I thought it was Simons. I thought it was
Simons. I don't think he cares.
Well, read it. It was a good book.
The Renaissance book.
Yes. Yep.
It was Matt Kors on here that said his winning rate was like 51%.
Yes.
That was his win rate.
Yeah.
And he's like one of the best traders ever. So I was tell you a lot there. Little edges matter. Casinos. A lot of, think about blackjack, 50, what is it? 52% or something. Think about all these games, even roulette, you could quickly do finite math if you want to do it, but you got 36 numbers and the greens get you. The greens make them have the edge. Put those couple greens on there and bang, you got a huge edge. Matters. The edge matters. 5 minutes here left. They are trying to reluctantly buy the dip, but the bears are trying to make a stand here. Is this bullish or bearish? Yes, I did bring us over to BLSH in that way. That was a smooth transition. It appears to be bullish because bullish is trading up 7.75% here, Joel.
Oh,
BLSH.
okay. Quick story on bullish.
I like stories.
So a buddy of mine sent me this prospectus a couple days ago, and I looked at it and I said, "Oh, crypto, digital assets. They own CoinDesk." And he said, I'm going to go for an allocation. And interestingly, he moved some money over to Robinhood, and I sure wish I would have bought the stock when he did that because they were trying to get bigger accounts. And he asked for a good size allocation, and he only got 129 shares, which you mentioned. I told you we talked about it during STN, and I was like, the stock is not going to, it's going to open way above that. And I go, it's going to at least $100. That was my before the indications, and the indications kept moving up. So I told him to scale out over 100 using bigger size as it goes. But he's more of an investor than a trader. And so he looked at it, and he just probably looked at it and he saw 91.67. He sent a market order on Robinhood, and that's where he got out at 91.67. So nice
Dang
little
good trade.
Yeah,
So
he did.
when did Robinhood start getting a lot of these IPOs like these?
Yeah, I
This is
know.
good.
That's
Robinhood's
what
getting all the perks.
Yeah,
RH is getting all the perks.
yeah.
That's pretty good.
I know. They're
Not a bad buy. $37.97 in one day. That's not bad.
Of course,
you guys, RH traders, you guys get all these allocations here. But he asked for 1,000 and got what, 100 shares?
139.
Yeah. Anybody else getting allocations? Chat.
Martin.
Did any of you people get any allocations on the bullish BLSH?
Well, I also, who do you go to if you have a question about an IPO, right? You go to Eric Kroll, right?
Yeah.
He's the best.
Yeah.
And he, I'm not buying it the first day, and I'm going to wait. He's going to wait for that cycle, and he's going to wait for it to come down. It's already below the opening price. We'll see what happens. He's getting a little bump today. I don't know if it's ever going to get back down to that original offering price at 37, but trading up $5.50 today. Hard to do technicals one day. Fari waits 6 months, a year?
Long time.
Yeah, so we'll see how the technicals shape up in bullish. You could also have another name for that symbol, BLSH, but I'm not going to say that. Don't want to get in trouble with YouTube.
2 minutes left. Final thoughts. Again, we're just going to repeat here. I think everything that had its huge rally in the last 2 days off the soft CPI probably sells off on the hot PPI. So think about your IWM, probably going to get hit harder. Think about all those value names that have just been having a hell of a couple of days. Home builders, probably going to get hit harder. Where do they probably go to bring the S&P eventually green? Probably to tech. So think about, AMD getting hammered here today, down 2%. NVIDIA's down 1%. Some of these chip names. Intel, I think, still going to get a deal with Trump. So I'd be buying the dip on Intel. I am long Intel. But Microsoft is green already. Amazon's green already. I think Meta could go green. I think Apple could go green. I think that's where they come. So if we do indeed go green, if we hit the 1038 Kenny Glick when we go green number, it's going to be on the backs of probably the mega caps.
Okay. All right. I'm just going to kind of stick with yesterday's low, which we dipped below by 8 handles, but seemed the bulls still aligning at the highest low that we've ever made at 64.61. So we'll see how just kind of hanging out here, though. I don't think we're going green today, but I've been wrong before and I'll be wrong again. Tomorrow's show. Options expiration. So I decided to have CC come back on the pre-market prep. So CC Legator is going to walk us through this options expiration, folks. Fun show, great show again here on PMP. If you want more great information, do a free trial of the Stock Trader Network. You get information on the opening, how things have changed. Also, a closing show with Brent and Dennis is amazing. So that's it for today, folks.